Let's talk about this suit.
What would you like to say about it?
Rare.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Relationship, our weekly after show about our podcast, Relationship. We are your hosts, the Critellis. I'm Marko.
I'm Tony.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Mm-hmm. Cheers, everyone, to another week.
He's in that kind of mood.
We're so excited to be here. What an amazing episode.
It was a good one.
I really enjoyed it. First of all, shout out to our hashtag gay relationship goals for the week. The For the Love of Boys, Tanner and Fletcher.
So super cute.
I love so much. Make sure you tune in to the episode of the podcast so that you can learn a little bit more about the guys. We're super excited to highlight them and can't wait to share more information about them when you listen to Relationship. We're so excited about this week's episode. Again, another tense conversation.
Parts of it, definitely.
Yeah, we talked about compatibility, and I think the reality of us realistically not being compatible,
not on paper,
kind of got to us a teeny bit. So it created a little bit of a tension between us, which was fine. But we're still pushing along.
I haven't left him yet.
Yeah. Well, I would be the one to leave first, though. That would be the true thing. But anyways, so this week we read an article on the date mix, which was 7 signs you have strong relationship compatibility. This was an amazing article just that highlighted, I think it was a total of like 7 different points on your relationship and some certain compatibility factors. The one that I really wanted to highlight the most that that I personally found really important was number 3. They have a strong sense of self. I thought that was really amazing, and I thought that was something that was really good to know. I feel very confident and strong within myself, and I think that you have a pretty good self-understanding. And so I think that helps build a really nice foundation for a relationship.
I would agree. I think I'm not surprised that you picked this one because the independence piece is always so very important to you.
Sure.
And I also think that it's interesting because it's the thing that causes us to butt our heads more often than anything else.
So much.
Because we are so fiercely independent.
Rams. It's crazy. So that was really interesting. And then we read another really amazing article from Psych Central, which is your favorite.
Psych Central, Psychology. Yeah, I mean, there's a few that I really like, but yeah, that's a great one. I just like them because I like things that are a little bit more researched. I like things that are a little bit denser.
Sure.
Accessibility is wonderful, but I like to be challenged. I like to have to think a little bit harder. So this one was really great. It was the 6 absolute must-haves for relationship compatibility. It was by Dr. John Grohl, who's the founder and the editor-in-chief. And the one that I really loved, and I said this on the podcast, but I just am going to bring it up again, was number 5, which is life priorities and tempo. As I said, I hadn't really heard of the tempo piece before, but it makes total sense. Like having the same priorities or being compatible, and that is one thing, but the pacing of it being similar is such an important aspect of it. And it's another thing that we fail at miserably on the checklist.
Sure.
Because I am fine with, my nickname is Turtle, slow and steady wins the race. I am totally fine with that, and I think it's appropriate. For me, but Marko, you are definitely the hare because you're going all the time.
It doesn't mean I lose anything, but it just means that I kind of have to keep a tempo, like Lizzo said. You just gotta go, right? It's gonna call.
No,
but it was great. I thought that this was really great. Your life priorities and tempo. I think that we were able to discuss where we were at with all of that, and that just made a lot of sense. And I really enjoyed it personally. So, of course, we will post links about these articles in our Instagram stories. So make sure you check us out. We are at Pod Relationship, and that is on Instagram and Facebook. That's where you'll find those links. But we would love to hear from you all so that you could tell us what you learned from this and whether or not you and your partner are compatible. And if you are single, which of these points meant the most to you as you're out there trying to date and find somebody that you like.
I love it.
Yeah. Why don't we hop into our listener situation for the week?
We normally hop into the hashtag gay relationship goals. We're going to have to figure out a different verb for the listener situation.
Let's skip.
I prefer to prance.
Or shimmy. Let's shimmy into
it.
I like it. That's kind of a good one.
So this one is, hi guys, I'm James and I live in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, I thought he was going to say a giant peach.
Oh. He ain't from Georgia. My boyfriend Ben and I have been together for a little over 4 years. Congratulations. He's sweet and strong and kind and funny and I adore him. That's great. One of my favorite things is when we cook together in the kitchen, sit down to eat at the table, and then lay in bed and read. We talk throughout the meal prep and dinner and play footsie while we read. It makes me feel so happy.
It makes me nauseous.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I could do that for the rest of my life and I'd be content. Recently, though, Ben has been hanging out with a girl who just started at his job. I've met her and she's nice, but she's just not someone I connect with. So, they've been going out alone. They've been spending a lot of time together, both during the week, after work, and on the weekends. I feel neglected. I want him to have his friendships and his fun, but I miss our nights together. I don't want to make him choose, but I don't want to lose what I have either because it means so much to me. What can I do? Well, I hate to sound like a broken record, but communication.
Talk.
Just because you have needs and he has needs that appear to be conflicting at this time with those needs doesn't mean that you're asking him to choose. He can have both, right? So you want your night. Well, how many nights? How many nights is enough for you? How many nights is enough for him? And you should know how many is enough for you going in, but you should also be ready to flex that number based on the number that he presents to you.
Sure.
Also, if what he's looking for is going out and what you're looking for is connectedness, is there a way for you to connect by going out with him, and would he therefore need to go out less?
Well, I also think that you and I have talked about this many times before, but give him the opportunity to go out and have this fun, but then have date night immediately the night after that so you can play catch up and do all of the things necessary to know and understand and interact and play footsie if you want to about
Marko
that conversation. Like just do it. I think that that's normal, but he has to have the opportunity to do his own thing. You guys cannot be tethered to one another on a consistent basis. You just can't do it. If you've seen us, then you understand that joke. But you cannot do that consistently. It's just not fair to him. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the other people that want to enjoy and hang out and have a good time with your boyfriend as well. There are amazing people, interesting people, lovely things that we all need to make ourselves feel great and fill our cup. And this just so happens to be his. Make sure it's not excessive. I would definitely ask him to kind of come up with a teeny bit of a schedule, because it sounds like you're a teeny bit more regimented than he is. But I would ask for a schedule.
Or a number.
Just a number. Yeah,
How
1
many
to 2
days?
nights a week, 2 to 3 nights a week. Anything over that, he's an alcoholic. But he says as he's drinking wine. But yeah, just give him the ability to do it. It's harmless. It's fun. It's a good time. Let him have fun.
And I would say just one other thing. What are you doing to make sure you don't feel neglected? So you all can come up with your number and you can share those nights together and you can have a good sense of how many is enough for him. But what are you doing? If you're starting to feel lonely or neglected, do you have a friend that you can go do stuff with?
Sure.
Is there something you can do to get out of the house? And even if it's a long walk, that goes quite the distance.
Yeah. For sure. Great. Well, we're going to end it there. Thank you all so much for writing in and being a part of our listener situations. Please tune in to Relationship, our podcast, so that you can hear the other listener situation. Again, I promise you it's a really good one. Please make sure you write in. We are relationshipquestions@gmail.com if you want to talk to us or write in on a listener situation for us to read either here on the IGTV episode or on the podcast. And make sure you tune in and be a part of our conversation on all of the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We are at Pod Relationship. We thank you all so much for the support and for being a part of this really important conversation. We love you all and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.